Hey everyone, a post-game 4 edition of Guards Thoughts here. The Cleveland Guardians, the Magic from Game 3 did not carry over, unfortunately. It ran out a little bit. The Guardians were able to come back in this game, but unfortunately they fall 8-6 to the New York Yankees. They're now down 3-1 in this best-of-7 series. And Game 5 could be the season. It could be over in Cleveland on Saturday nights, unfortunately. The Yankees took the lead early in this game off of Gavin Williams. And listen, like it got close, and then it was 3-2, and then Giancarlo Stanton in the sixth inning belts a 3-run home run off of Cade Smith. Really, this and an inexcusable. And listen, I understand Stephen Vogt is a first-year manager, and this is what they've done. They've always attacked with their best people, but what this series has come down to has been some questionable managerial decisions and some bad fundamentals. And it almost cost them in last game in Game 3 with some bad decisions in rundowns. But how you pitch to Giancarlo Stanton with two men on base and first base open is beyond me. Giancarlo Stanton already had 2 home runs in the series. He creams another one off Cade Smith. Cade Smith, like, listen, your invincible bullpen can carry you so far, but man, like what this has come down to is that the Guardians in that exhausting 5-game series with the Detroit Tigers, Emmanuel Clase, and we'll talk about him in a second, and then Cade Smith getting hit off of. Hunter Gaddis struggled, but he had a really nice outing. I mean, for the most part, look at what the Guardians were able to do in terms of pitching. Yeah, Gavin Williams, even though he only got through 2 1/3 inning, Gavin Williams actually did a really good job. He just made a couple of really bad mistakes that were home runs, one to Austin Wells, one to Juan Soto early on in this game. Eric Sabrowski got them 5 outs, which was great. Only gave up a hit. Eli Morgan, another great job for him. But yeah, then Cade Smith and then Emmanuel Clase really gave this game away. Tim Herron was great. Joey Cantillo, after the disaster in Game 1, he came in and gave him an inning. Hunter Gaddis, 3 strikeouts. Like, the Guardians did everything that they possibly could to get in. And then their big horses who they've been leaning on this whole season, they go back to Clase again to see if he's got anything left. The velocity was down. He just looked tired and just looked worn out and just mentally just looks shot because, I mean, Kerry Carpenter got to him. You had Stanton and Judge get to him. But it's just, man, it's what it came down to, man, is just like he couldn't get anybody out in that 9th inning. And Anthony Rizzo, Anthony Volpe, Gleyber Torres just made things happen. And it really is unfortunate for this Guardians team who fought their asses back into this thing. They were down 6-2 because of that Stanton home run. But then Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor get it down to 1. David Fry gets the infield single and then advances to second, and then it's just like the magic ran out. You had, by the way, can we talk about the inning before? It was 6-5, I think, at this point. Can we talk about the TBS camera person who needs to be fired into the sun? Because I don't know, like, they made it seem like John Kenzie Noel hit that ball to the moon and it was at the warning track. Like, it's just what the fuck was that? And it screwed with my sister's brain. It screwed with my brain. So unfortunately, that did not work out for them ultimately. And then they get a really bad third strike call on Lane Thomas in the 9th inning. They tried to manufacture some hits and Brian Rocchio almost got more life, and then John Birdie's able to pick it up and get it done for them. But yeah, Clase again. Big problem, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk. Like, it's just, he doesn't have it, man. And, I mean, I got to give it credit to Mark Leiter Jr., Tommy Canley, who did get the benefit from a bad ump. I mean, if you want to say that, the umpiring crew in Major League Baseball wants, L.A. versus New York or New York versus New York, no shit they do. But I mean, the umpiring is just not consistent at all. Like, the corners were all over the place. This is just modern umpiring. It's very inconsistent. Not even modern. This is just umpiring in general. but the Guardians just, they put themselves in a hole. They were able to dig themselves back, and then, any opportunities that are borderline that you can't capitalize on, it's going to go the other way. That's just the way that this series is kind of gone. Stephen Vogt has kind of like shown his inexperience. Like, I understand why you want to go to Class A. He's been your guy, but clearly he is just taxed. Like, he's got an ERA of 10 in the playoffs. This guy was not hittable in the regular season, and now just because you keep going to him night after night after night, the best hitters in the world, a lot of them on this New York Yankees team, are getting to him, and now the bottom of the lineup is getting to him. That's the message that you need to get across, and it's just like, in between Gavin Williams and outside of Cade Smith and Clase, this was a really well-pitched game by the Guardians, and they just couldn't get over the finish line. They couldn't get enough offense. They get 6 runs, and it's just like they've had spots where they could have scored more, and the runner in scoring position thing is still a problem. And then obviously this bullpen, and just it is not a sustainable model for this Guardians team to potentially get to a World Series. Can they win 3 in a row and win 2 in New York? Yeah. I mean, this team has defied the odds all season. But given the state of where Emmanuel Clase is, where Cade Smith is, and what they're going to have to do to get to the finish line, this is a mountain. This is like climbing Mount Everest for the Cleveland Guardians. And it's just like, we'll see. Just win one in Game 5 and see what happens when you go to New York. Granted, you would still have Garrett Cole in front of you, who they did a pretty decent job on. But with the bullpen the way it is and getting used, yes, they would have a travel day in between, but holy shit, man. Emmanuel Clase looks broken. Like, I just don't know how they get to the finish line. But this team has defied the odds a lot. So we'll see. The Yankees are 1 win away from the World Series. The Dodgers are 1 win away from the World Series, even though the Mets won. So we'll see where the series is at following Game 5. Hopefully we'll have some guard thoughts after that. It may be the end of the season. I hope not. This has been a fun team to watch. It's been a fun team. And playoff baseball has just taken years off of my life. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have more content throughout the weekend on the Octomike Sports Network. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.